Boop, boop, boop. Hey, all right, it's Adam. It's a live edition of the Outlier Insight Show. I don't know where Shawn is. Shawn's supposed to do this with me. I'm like way decked out in Philly stuff. I got my Eagles hat. I got my Made in Philly sweatshirt. I got my guy Helm saying that he is fourth. I got Travis saying he's first. Look at that. I really don't know where Shawn is, but we're gonna go through the AFC game. We'll go through the NFC game. We will also show like a pretty cool hack that I have on doing some plus EV bets. Yeah, but we're down to 4. I was going to try to go to the game this weekend. I am not. What else do I got there? I see my sister has jumped in. That's just absolutely wild to me. So anyway, here he is. All right, there he is. Shawn, what's going on?
I can't hear a word you're saying. Give me a second.
Can you hear a word I'm saying? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
There we go. Hello, Adam.
What's going on? Fashionably late. I sent this to my Instagram too, just to fuck around.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
You guys
I still can't hear you. Give me 1 second. My Mac is trying to take the day off.
Oh, it's you. It's not me. All right. Well, look.
No, it was you. My Mac was trying to take the day off. Well, we're here now. We're good.
All right. Cool. Well, we live on Instagram, and just so you know, Naj is watching. My sister's watching. That's about it. Oh. So, all right. We're going to go through the AFC game. We're going to go to the NFC game. The high production value that I have in here, I'm going to put banners up on screen on things that I got from Shawn and that I got from myself. And we'll hopefully give you guys some things to either complain about or to win off of. Just like to remind everybody that there's a pretty bad take going around Twitter right now from somebody saying that the Rams played better. I would just like to remind folks that do come across this tweet that the Rams had played better. They would score more points and win. A team that hasn't scored as many points to win has lost, I believe, 1 million out of the last 1 million times a sporting event has taken place.
Without we'll say this, I will push back. The Rams did play better the second time because instead of giving up 255 yards rushing to Saquon Barkley, they only gave up 205.
That is right. Progress. All right. People are like, we don't want to hear about you Philly resident propaganda. Let's just jump right into it. Boom. Okay. Oh, look at me. I was looking at Josh Allen stuff. What a spoiler. All right. We're going to go to this Eagles Commanders game. All right. We're going to assume that nobody here has futures, that you're just like, I'm not playing futures. I'm just betting the day of. All right. So Commanders, Eagles, do you have a side that you like if you had nothing involved in this entire game?
I like the 6.5. This is a division game. They're playing for the third time in 2 months.
Third time since.
I think the first matchup was the 17th of November.
It was the Thursday. You and I hung out actually that day. We went to an event in New York.
Oh, that's right. Yes. So, I like the 6.5. A wise man from Philadelphia who now lives in Boston once told me that Eagles money comes in late, which means this will become 7 on Sunday, and you should definitely bet it at 7 on Sunday. I think the Eagles win, but I think the Rams cover. Freudian slip. The commies cover.
Yeah, and we looked at this the other day because last week we had the really cool angle of like, hey, just take the 3.5. The 3.5 actually doesn't give you, like last time the 3.5 was, which the reason why that's a great play, by the way, is that 3.5 means that if the Eagles kick the field goal to win the game, you would still win the bet. It was 2-1 at plus 124. I agree with Shawn. I look, if you like at this point, in my opinion, if you like the Commanders, take the money line. Just do it. But
what's the money line?
It's like 2-1. 240 plus 240.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the only reason because it's a division. It's 6.5 in a division game, and so that's why I'm like I'm fine with taking 6.5 because like listen, Philly could win this game by 6 and then but like my suggestion, like I'm fine with 6.5. If you don't like 6.5, wait till Sunday when it becomes 7.
It's going to go to 7 on Sunday. Okay. I side and angle wise, I don't love anything in this. I would probably lean towards the under. I hate saying leans, but I would lean towards the under just based on the situation. It's going to be below freezing. It's just going to be, again, it's the third time that these teams are playing each other. But we can just go from here right into props. Shawn, you want to start first? What's a prop that you have that you like?
Okay, so I did some DVOA research today.
All right.
And I decided to dive into defense versus receiver.
Oh boy.
And so if you don't subscribe to FTN and you're a degenerate, you should. So they literally could break down DVA against your wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3.
Which I like to remind people, the 2 and 3 is subjective based on what's happening out there. Unless you're playing Madden, it could be your X, it could be your Y receiver. It doesn't really matter.
Yes.
We don't know. Well, it could be your Z or your Y receiver. It will not be your X.
It could be Olamide Zaccheaus. It could be De'Ami Brown.
That's right.
You know, But in this case, your number 1 is your number 1.
Yeah.
Ironically, both teams are near the bottom of the league in defense versus wide receiver 1.
That tracks. That tracks pretty well.
So here's the thing. I like AJ Brown over 61.5 yards. Now,
all right. Okay.
I am fully aware that the Philadelphia Eagles have implemented the single wing offense the last 3 weeks, and they're throwing for like $132 a game. However, Washington's defense, which I did not need to research on DVOA for, is not very good. Case in point, they forced 4 turnovers last week in Detroit and still gave up 38 points.
Yeah. To go to bad takes, if you are going by yards gained, in everything, it's Rams versus Lions in the NFC Championship. Just so everybody knows. Okay.
Exactly. So with that said, I just don't see. There will be opportunities. So, like, for anything receiving, I'm looking at the yards. I'm not looking at the catches because he might have 4 catches or 3 catches for 75 yards. But I like the over. And it's just, as I said before, you can see right there. There's a lot of red, when they implemented the single wing offense. But I think there are opportunities against this Washington defense.
There's a lot of reasons. First of all, so I like I wouldn't go for the receptions against the Washington. Look, whatever, they're the Redskins. So there's a new administration. They're the Redskins. So since week 12, which by the way was the week that the Eagles went to LA and trashed the Rams, the Washington football team has overwhelmingly given up the least amount of receptions to opponents. That is not the same on the yard side. They absolutely give up big explosive plays, but they allow people to, they aren't allowing checkdowns. They're not doing that kind of stuff. So just looking at it, and I'm using FT. Oh, by the wow, Detroit worst since week 12. Washington is bad at that. But no, I can co-sign this. I think though, for an AJ Brown thing, for me, since his floor is basically the 65. What's the least he's had all season? The least he's had all season gone over this is 65. So if I'm looking at this, just if I want to squeeze a little bit out of it, okay, I can't. Never mind. All right, well that's been taken away from me. So never mind. This is the best way to play it. If you like AJ Brown, do that. Do the yards. You probably you can get it in 2 catches. Been bet up. That's one of the plays from Shawn. All right. Mine is it's not up here on Outlier, and it's an interesting one. It's Eagles to kick the longest field goal at -105.
I want to discuss this with you. Okay. I want to hear about this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I thought I discussed it with you. I did discuss it with you over text. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to pull up Mr. Zane Gonzalez. Zane Gonzalez is terrible. So Zane Gonzalez, first of all, besides the fact that the Commanders have one of the best 4th down conversion rates in the league, because they have a quarterback who is elite at converting 4th downs at such an insane passing clip that just ride that out. I just want to point out the number of field goals that, you've got from Zane Gonzalez. Generally, they do not want him kicking the ball. He actually, against Tampa, doinked it in. They, even when they were in a dome last week, they were like, we don't want any sort of chances with this stuff. He's not a very good kicker. His longest this season, he had 150-yarder in Tampa Bay. Let's see. Actually, I'm sorry. The longest one's made. He had 52, 47, 48. Okay. So he's gotten it. My basically bet on this is that he will not get a lot of opportunities to do this, is that they will be going for it on fourth down a lot. And while Jake Elliott has not been the Jake Elliott of the past, you basically, rather than having to bet an under on either one of these guys to make or break their field goals, I just need Jake Elliott to kick one that's longer. Jake Elliott kicked one from 44 last week. Let me just see. So he struggled on extra points, but he did perfectly fine on field goals. His longest field goals, he had a 44 last week. He had a bunch of 30s. He had 50s. Not good from far out, but I don't think that Zane Gonzalez is going to have the same opportunities. I would see him maybe having one opportunity to kick a field goal, probably be 2 or 3 for Jake. So for me, I would rather take Jake Elliott to kick a 47-yarder, 45-yarder, and then he can miss the other ones, call it a day, minus 105.
So the reason why you sent me this play and I was like, I want to argue with him about this. And I got sidetracked because I have a family and stuff. You know how that is.
Yeah.
This puts faith in your kicker who misses extra points. That was my concern. However, counterpoint to that, Zane Gonzalez, through the first 9 weeks of the season, had made as many field goals as I had because he didn't have a job.
Yes.
He was unemployed.
Yes.
So you missed it earlier. I was doing my Zane Gonzalez impersonation of fixing my hair.
Taylor's comment on that too. He's like, why is he fucking fixing his hair before he goes and does this?
Saw that again. I saw that against Tampa Bay. I'm like, oh, he's missing this. And guess what? He almost did.
He almost did. They do not want to use. They do not want to use They don't want to use them. It's a usage thing to me. At minus 105.
If it's inside, if it's 4th and 5 or less, they're going to go for it. Every time. And they converted 87%. So
yes, and I believe that they will do that anywhere from within that 50 to 30 range. And I believe that the Eagles, field position wise, are still going to try to just ride into Jake because look, he hit 3 field goals last week. He did great last week on the field goals in bad weather. So all I need Jake to do is hit one. And to Taylor timing in, I thought he was gonna miss it when I saw that OCTPS.
Same thing. I was like, yo, he's shaking this joint.
So anyway, that is to me, that's my first prop that I like for this game. All right, what do you got? What's your next one?
My next one is going back to the DVOA. Tight ends. The Philadelphia Eagles are 3rd in DVOA against tight end 1.
After, by the way, being terrible against tight ends for my entire adult existence.
You and somehow. The San Diego Chargers. Terrible.
Yeah.
So I say this to say there's going to be a lot of narrative plays about Zach Ertz returning to Philadelphia. Take the under. Now, listen, he might have 2 catches of 8 yards and a touchdown. Like he might score a touchdown, which I think is like plus 300. But
yeah, actually, I would 100% take that.
Yes, but I would take. In fact, now if you want to get cute, we can. If you want to get cute, parlay the under and plus 300 on anytime touchdown, and that's probably like plus 6 something. I'll look that up for you. But yeah, Philly doesn't mess around. So take the under Ertz receiving yards.
Okay. Here, let me add this. I didn't actually add this to the then the other one wasn't on there anyway. I can co-sign on that. I also think that Ertz, I mean, you were trying to say, but like under 30.5 and the TD is going to be a bonkers fun same game parlay. I would take that. Let me also put AJ Brown in this slip for everybody. Everyone gets to see me do it. Interesting enough, AJ Brown rush and receiving is over 58. I'm going to put that in because that is
Reverse.
All right, sure. I haven't seen him do one, but all right. Mine, my other one that I got for this game, going to Jaden Daniels. I like Jaden Daniels over 14.5 longest rush. I think his attempts are bonkers too high. It's like 10.5, which is like Lamar's had insane games and hasn't hit 10.5. Like 11 of those is crazy. But I do think that he breaks one, and I like that it's under a key number of 15. He has done this as I bring this up. Let's see. He has done it. Let me just flip it on this other side. There he is. Done. Yeah, he's done it in 5 out of the last 6. He did it in the game where he was healthy. He didn't do it in the game where he was not healthy against the Eagles. He had 87 yards on the ground against the Eagles in the game that he was healthy, where Kenny Pickett dropped 30 points on the Commanders. And then the Eagles gave up 21 points in the fourth quarter, and that's why they lost. But I like Jaden Daniels. That's the other thing, is that the Eagles tend to sit back in this worse version of a prevent, and 1, 2, 3, 5 out of the last 6 quarterbacks have hit their longest rush over. Jordan Love even hit his, and Jordan Love has terrible feet. Russell Wilson literally builds a condo in the pocket, and he hit his. So yeah, I like him. I like him to do this. I like it because it's under 15 too, and it's like a key number within the grand scheme of things. So Jaden Daniels over 14.5 longest rush. Ship it. I like that. By the way, Taylor has looked it up. The Ertz play is 11-1 on DK.
Yes, I'm taking that.
That's awesome. Okay, what you got?
Or I was going to say,
you have a comment on this?
Yes. As my son goes back up the stairs with his recorder.
He's at that age where they're teaching him to play terrible music.
Yes. Yeah, the Jaden Daniels over 15.5 means like you think they're going to win, and 3 of those are going to be kneel downs. So don't take 15 over 15 rushes. I should like.
Is that what his rushes is at now?
You said that it was like 15.
No, it was 10.5. Did he get bet up?
To 10.5. Okay, you said
10.5. It's 10.5 at mine. Still, that's crazy.
But still, that's 3 kneel downs at the end of the game.
You would need 3, and 3 kneel downs is tough to do. It's usually 2.
Yeah. I also like his over rushing because he was not hurt. I mean, he was not healthy, and he stopped running the ball. And then when he got healthy, he ran for 127 against Atlanta. And there's right there, 127 against Atlanta. He ran against 81 against Philly. So I think 54 is fair. So I like 54 rushing, but I love the rush. I already bet the rushing attempt. Never rushing attempts. I already bet the longest rush early in the week when I saw you bet. I was like, that's a fantastic bet.
So I'm going to co-sign this. One of the reasons I like it is with Cosme out and Taylor. Taylor and I were talking about this because Taylor played football and he understands this, but basically, so they do a lot of zone blocking schemes because Dan Quinn loves that shit. And Brian Robinson is not an efficient runner. That's why his rushing prop is super low. Not having your guard in immediately impacts your zone blocking. The reality of what's going to happen though, is that you have an improv guy like Jaden Daniels. You have a pretty aggressive defensive front from Vic Fangio. There are designed runs that he can obviously do this in, but I do expect scrambling. He's, had a lot of time. I downgrade the running backs, the traditional running backs in this, and I upgrade him on this one. I really like this one a lot. So, absolutely. I'm going to live look at this one. There's another one that I liked on here because of that. I want to run back the Eckler receiving yards ladder, man.
So while you look that up,
on
Philly is 5th in defense DVOA against running backs in receiving.
I get it.
And I was like, But to your point, our point, the cap on this is they're going to be down 14 points and they're going to start last week we gave out the Eckler ladder, and if Detroit decided not to piss down their leg, he absolutely would have hit it.
He had 2 rungs. And we started the ladder on a rung. Let me just see something. I want to see how because we also game planned against Kyron Williams had -1 yards. It was awesome. But I gotta come back to me on this one later this week. But like the Eckler ladder has been adjusted. His receiving yards has been adjusted. But I expect them to kind of be throwing under. For me, the whole fact is that they have a backup linebacker. They have a linebacker out. So and you have a starting linebacker out. I'm always going to look towards tight ends, but I'm not sure that I want that on Ertz. And Eckler, who, if he's not going to be doing traditional runs, I think is a guy that they're going to be able to get going through receiving game. And so it's really low too, man. Like 23.5. He had 89. He had 89 against them. Like, I think I'm going to take this. I don't think I'm going to ladder it because like that's just aggressive. But I do like straight up. I do like Austin Eckler over 23.5 receiving yards.
What about?
Josh Jacobs had 40. Brian Robinson had 17, and he actually doesn't catch the ball. Eckler had 89 yards, man. He had 41 against Detroit, 26. If I'm looking on FTN at just kind of yak and ADOT stuff, let me just see. Let's do air yards. Oh yeah, here it is. ADOTs. The Eagles. Oh, so yeah, so Eagles have one of the lowest ADOTs in the league against. ADOT's a nerd stat. It means average depth of target. It means you don't throw it very far. So I think, and Taylor pointed out Eckler is JD's favorite scapegoat. I really like this. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to take Austin Eckler, 23.5 receiving yards. Ship it. Okay. What do you got?
You're right. I'm looking because I was thinking maybe what if we laddered rush and receiving yards because he had like a 30-yard rush and get the game. But I'm looking at yes, they have accounted for this. Well, actually, See, I'm such a degenerate big odd chaser, and I'm like, ooh, over 70 yards plus 1,300. But whatever.
I think that's an SGP of a game script because the reality is that this is to me it's too low for somebody for a 6-point road dog. Like, sorry, but like if you're a 6-point road dog, you are like throwing and you're catching up. And that's just that's the math on how it works. And so 23.5 is crazy for a guy who we know can get at least 5 targets in the game.
Yep. That's my mother calls.
Anyway, all right, what else you got?
That is it.
I can tell you what you have that you
what do I have?
You have Jalen Hurts. TD.
Yes, Jalen Hurts.
Again, this assumes you do not have him to lead in TDs.
Yes. As I tell my mother, I will call her back. Ironically, I did not bet last week. I did not bet Saquon Barkley touchdown because I was like, when they get in close, you know what time it is. And of course, Hurts scores.
Yeah, he broke a 40, dude. He broke a 40-yard one. Yeah,
but this is as long as the tush push is still a thing, and this number is below like -140, just take it. Just take it. Yep. Don't overthink it.
Nope, I agree. I mean, look, guys, like his rushing yard number is really low. It's lower than it was last week because it was 37 last week. It's gone down 5, and it'll go as soon as he's seen in practice tomorrow. It'll go back up, but just know there's that. Okay, the last one that I have for this game is Dallas Goedert, or as Sean Green calls him, Goddard. Dallas Goedert. 40 receiving yards. Washington has given up. I had it up here, but I will find it. They gave up yards to Laporta. They gave up yards to Cade Otton. They gave up yards to Kyle Pitts, who we thought was dead. They gave up yards to Foster Moreau. They gave up yards to Chige Okonkwo, Luke Shoemaker. Goddard had 61 against them in November. I like this. And also, if Hurts is hurt, which we have reason to believe he is, even if he isn't, there's one thing that's been working for this offense right now. It has been getting the ball to Dallas Goedert. So give me Dallas Goedert. It was even money. It's -106 on FanDuel. I like that for him to have 40 receiving yards. I think that's all the things that we have for this game.
Yeah, I think that's it. And also, Washington 26 against the tight end by DVOA. So
yeah, they give them they'll give them up. Okay, all right. Bills and Chiefs. Man, this thing steamed over to be in the Chiefs laying 2.5. Is this?
It's 2.5? It was 1.5 an hour ago.
I know, man. So I don't know, man. Like, what's going on? Who's winning this for the 15th time?
Well, as someone who's I've gone through my 5 stages of grief after Sunday, and that's because I have a bounty on Mark Andrews' head. The Chiefs are gonna do it again, man. The Chiefs are gonna do it again.
The Chiefs are inevitable.
They're like, this is. Listen, the Chiefs are gonna do it again. But I will say this. Too. Like, I liked 1.5. I still like 2.5. I wish it was still 1.5 because I would have bet Chiefs minus 2.5, which probably would have been like plus 125 or something like that. But like, it's not that I don't think the Bills are good. The Bills are clearly good. It's just that, listen, here's what I'll say, and this leads me to my first selection, which I sent you, which you probably
wait, hold on, wait. Do we? I have it. I have it on here. But wait, are we? Let's get through. Let's do the sides first. Like, if we
all right,
want to side, I mean, I think Casey's winning. Like, I don't know what we're talking about here, but like, the reality is that the Chiefs are inevitable. Spags is inevitable. Like, that is Spags is inevitable. That's what it is. I'm sorry, it is. I will not feel bad if it doesn't happen, and I like the under, because it's a Chiefs game. All right. Going to props. Okay. What do you?
Chiefs second half unders. Just bet it and shut up.
Oh, so my alt for this, I will not shut up, but because my alt for this is, what about just the entire total second half under total? 23.5.
What's that? It's minus
Bills are 3-7 under this over the last 10. KC is 3-7 under this. KC's just rolling on unders,
dude,
forever.
Like
in this,
I just like
three straight for the Bills in the second half like this. You like this more than the Chiefs
reason why I like the under. The reason I like the Chiefs second half team total under is it is ridiculously mispriced all year. Like, when it was 12.5 last week, I was like, they scored 9 points a game in the second half. Why is this 12? So I just load up on that and I don't get cute, and I just load up on that. I do think betting the second half under is a good call, because like, I doubt this is going to be a shootout in the second half, right?
Yeah, right.
But it does bring me to.
Well, it's the same price, by the way. It's the same. It's relatively the same price.
It's the same price. I just think that Chiefs second half unders is a wagon. Just like, ride it till the wheels fall off.
All right, do it. Okay. All right. So you had another one that was here. That is, I'm seeing if we have it. It's not on here. I don't have it up in front of me, but if I want to do longest field goal in this game, I also kind of like Bass, but it's not really the game that I want to do it. Okay. So you want to go through? Why don't you go through your first prop for this game? Because I don't have. I'm doing mine live, like, as I do it.
Okay. So my first prop is Josh Allen to throw a pick at minus 102.
Oh, look at that! You think he's just like, you think it's because it's, he doesn't have to worry about that inauguration look ahead spot that he's going to be all messed up. Oh my goodness. By the way, people in the I get such hate when people when I make January 6 references about Josh Allen. It's great, and all I say is Cole Beasley is their strength and conditioning coach. All right, so give it to me. Josh Allen minus 102 for him to throw a pick against him.
Yes. So here's the thing. You're probably wondering why I would pick that, because the sure, I'll take one. No, thank you. My son is bringing me calamari. He's amazing.
Oh.
Neither of these teams turn the ball over. In fact, I wrote this down because I like to prepare. Each team has one turnover since Thanksgiving. Buffalo's last turnover was the 22nd of December. Kansas City's last turnover was the 17th of November. But ironically, those turnovers were were when they played each other. So I say that to say this. They play a clean game. They neither side turns the ball over. But the last time the Bills play in that Chiefs Bills game that the Bills did win, Josh Allen had 2 picks. So if we're gonna say Spags is inevitable, I -102. I wish it was plus money. If I might wait because again, they have not turned the ball over. They have one turnover. Josh Allen threw a pick against the Patriots, which I don't know, maybe he was high, but other than that, he doesn't turn the ball over. So
not this year.
This is decent value.
Yeah, Casey's got 3 picks. It's got picks. No, they don't. I was looking at the rushing yards. They have they do. They have picks in 3 of their last 5 games. And I'm not 3 of the last 4 if you don't count the game where they wheeled out Carson Wentz and didn't really play. And literally took a knee right away. But Josh Allen hasn't done it. I think that's a good play. It's weird because my Josh Allen props are kind of all over the place, but they do this. OG Drip, I see you in this DM Outlier, and they can help you out with your concern. And if not, DM me and I'll escalate it. I like this. My Josh Allen one though that I also think is a little bit inevitable. Him to score a touchdown. So it's, I think that I think the one thing about Josh Allen is that, and I guess I didn't even make a banner for it. Oh well. Allen is he's basically like he is going to want the ball in his hands. He is a refrigerator when he runs over through the goal line. If I heard my mother-in-law say one more time, "Oh, he is so tall," last week when we watched it, I don't know what I was gonna do, but Josh Allen TD is something that I can get behind. So that is for sure on my card. What do you got?
So the other one I sent you, which is a bit of this is my WTF pick of the playoffs, and it's this game to go to overtime at plus 1,400.
I think that is an awesome freaking 14-1. That's great.
14-1. Now I actually meant to look up how many games have gone to overtime this year to see if 14-1 was a good price. NFL overtime games in 2024. But I said to say these teams don't turn the ball over. Yes, I know I just gave you Josh Allen pick, but like these teams take care of the ball. It's gonna be a clean game. Like, hey, Baltimore. I hope you're watching. See what a clean fucking game looks like. But whatever. I think plus 14. I think 14-1. I think overtime is a real possibility. I think both teams
they had it in one of their playoff games before. 2 of them, I think.
The 13 seconds game. This is my long shot, but I'm just like for 14-1. I was like, you know what? I think this could be a thing.
The script is in, according to Taylor. The script would love it. See, they changed the OT rules so they both get a possession because of it. They remake it. I mean, they got the eyeball. They want the eyeballs on it. I could see that. It would be hilarious if like suddenly the Chiefs got all the flags against them. We're back on that Josh Allen shit. Josh Allen over 228 passing yards. So first of all, it's the same line that Jaden Daniels has. And while Jaden Daniels is a great thrower, I think that this is a little bit of an overreaction to Josh Allen only having 129 receiving yards. I don't think Josh Allen is going to be running for 80 yards on this KC defense, but his KC defense does give up big plays. So, and this again, in a gotta have it game, Josh Allen under 240 passing yards. I like it. They gave up 245 to Stroud. They gave up, do we want to count, if we want to count, the Bo Nix kneel down game, they gave up 321 to him, which helped me cash my Bo Nix rookie passing leader. They gave up 245 again 2 weeks earlier to CJ Stroud, 340 to Aiden O'Connell, 263 to Bryce Young. Josh Allen himself threw for 262. He's thrown on this team. He's over this in 5 of his last 6 against this team. He threw for 262 in November. I think this is a crazy overreaction to the fact that he just wasn't part of the game script, was throwing, even though that's generally how you beat the Ravens. So give me Josh Allen over 228 passing yards. I am putting that in this slip wherever it is. All right. What else do you got? And we can kind of like live look at it, because I don't have any fun. I don't have any more fun banners. So
I don't have anything else. I didn't have anything else, so we can live. So we can
look.
live.
Let's look.
So let's look at
let's find one together.
Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown.
You don't think they're going to go back to they're going to go to Pacheco?
It's funny. During last week, I was like, I bet you. When I was looking at first TDs, I looked at Kareem Hunt long and hard. I was like, and of course he scored it.
It was like 8-1. Don't beat yourself up over it. It was fine.
No, I mean, I'm looking at like 16-1 bullshit for first touchdown anyway, right? Yeah. So what's his anytime touchdown?
His anytime is probably, I'm gonna guess it's probably plus 140. Oh, it's plus 190. That's a great price.
That's a great price.
That's an awesome price.
Yes. And so I will go touchdown for him. I think Pacheco yards, because I don't think Buffalo's going to sell out to stop the run like they did against Derrick Henry last week.
No, I agree.
So I would take Pacheco yards. I'll look at Pacheco yards.
This is so low. This is so 32? Low.
That's ridiculous.
It's really low. I want to see something about their rushing defense. Is their rushing defense just like, let me just see this. Since week 12 again. They have KC, by the way, 7th worst rushing defense over the last since week 12. We might want to get some cookie in there. Let me see about Buffalo.
Since week 12?
Yeah, since week 12, the yards per carry. Since week 12, Carolina is overwhelmingly the worst at 6 yards per carry. Then the Rams at 5.3. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the second worst yards per carry for a team that got better? Against yeah. All right. Anyway,
it's funny you say that. I have their rushing yards allowed since week 12. They allowed 116 to the freaking Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders like moved the ball on them pretty well.
That game was 19-17. Good Lord. Oh, that was the Aiden O'Connor.
That was the Aiden O'Connell. Yeah. Where with the he didn't fumble it, kind of, yeah.
This team has a horseshoe up their ass. All right. 116
so did the Commanders, but yeah.
They gave up 116 to the Raiders, 94 to the Chargers, who I'm pretty sure didn't have JK or what's his face, Gus Edwards. 139 to the Browns, 84 to the Texans, 202 to the Steelers, who stink.
That's a lot.
How did they do 202 yards to the Steelers?
Yeah,
so bloody.
This is Kansas City.
This is Kansas City.
I think we want Cook rushing. Let me see what it is. It's still the same. It's been every week. Yeah, dude.
We got to do that. We
got to do that. It's 60. Yeah, this is too low. I think I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna take him at 60, at plus 110.
I'm looking at this Pittsburgh game, and it wasn't like no one had like a 60-yard run. Like Russ at 55, Najee Harris 74.
All his carries and stuff are set the exact same. He had yeah. I think
we got to do this. We got
he didn't have a good game against him before, but look, the playoff game he had 61. And then let me just see something else with Cook. Yeah, I think I wanted a Cook rushing ladder that first weekend and I didn't do it. Yeah, dude, every running back's run on them. In terms of their line, well, I'm not going to pay attention. Yeah, Najee Harris went over. Jalen Warren went over.
Yes.
Jerome Ford and Nick Chubb went over their rushing lines. Kamani Vidal went over his rushing line. Gus Edwards went over his rushing line. Sincere McCormick went over his rushing line. Amir Abdullah went over his rushing line. He is not even a rushing running back. Chuba Hubbard. Every single person has gone over this in weeks. If you go head to head, so yeah, the playoff game against them last year, he had 61. I think this is too low. Give me James Cook. Give me James Cook 60 yards. We don't need to get cute, but give me James Cook 60 yards rushing. You're also guys going to get way more value on the team that you don't think is going to do things. And it's worked out very well for us. James Cook has been cooking, no pun intended. I agree, Taylor. Yeah, James Cook. Let me just get that up because I think that's a good play.
I'm gonna write down Kareem Hunt TD, by the way.
I'm gonna send you the thingy. I have all these in a slip, so they're all here except for your OT one and my field goal one. But I think you already took the field goal one. So I'm gonna send it to you. All right, let's find one more. Let's find a positive script play on the Chiefs, or at least somebody that we like on the Chiefs. What's Kelsey stuff looking like?
Well, I was just saying we just go back to the well.
Well, I don't know why do we want Noah Gray?
Shout out to Allie, loves Noah Gray.
I love Noah Gray.
Look at Noah Gray yards. Because Noah Gray's not catching like 7 balls, but he'll have like 3 catches, 60 yards, some shit like that.
His thing's gotten bet up. Let's see. I could do Gray. I could be in. Let me just look at how.
Oh, he's 15.5 yards. Get out of here.
No. I've seen him at 13.5 on MGM.
That's even better.
Yeah, it's an outlier. We gotta take that. Let me just see. What's their DVOA against tight ends?
Buffalo?
Yeah.
I have it right. Hold on. Give me a second. I have it right here. Buffalo DVOA tight ends. Where did tight end go? Oh, they're 9th best.
Okay. Well, listen, what does that mean? Well, here, look.
They're the 9th best. They're the 9th best against defending tight ends. So they're top.
So
top
they've been on a very good streak on this. I kind of still like it. That's the thing. How many targets did he have last week? Let's see.
He had 3.
Yeah, dude, 3, and his number's 13.5. I mean, he gets looks is the thing. Let's see.
Funny thing, he had 13 last week. He had 13 yards against Houston. That's hilarious.
Yeah, well, that's because that was always going to be a Kelsey.
That was Kelsey.
I mean, Kelsey, I like receptions more than I like that, but I don't want to bet it. Targets wise, yeah, 3. He had 3 receptions. He had 3 receptions in a game where Kelsey had 100+ yards. That's really good. Bills are 13th against tight end and receiving yards this season. 22nd yards allowed. I mean, your options are that or does Worthy show? I kind of like Worthy because is Rapp hurt?
I think so. I'll look that up.
Because they went after Bishop. Because Lamar went after Bishop right away when they put him in at free safety.
I'll look this up. Kansas City. Come on.
He had minus.
I was going to say while I looked it up. I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
Xavier Ward. What about Xavier? You have it right here. Rushing receiver yards. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say
he had -8 last. He had -8 last week, which is the one thing that kind of like freaks me out.
Oh yeah, because they blew that play up. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just see something that the Bills. Okay, against running backs, wide receivers.
If Rapp doesn't play, I mean,
so like, would you? I would comp Worthy to Bateman on the Ravens in terms of play style. with the exception of being a little. I think Worthy's a lot more dynamic.
Yeah.
And Bateman. I mean, Lamar loves Bateman. That's the thing. I don't know. I kind of just kind of want to go with the Noah Gray. But because like they controlled everything. Like I don't even know Anthony. I thought Anthony Miller was your quarterback.
No.
I haven't heard of any of these wide receivers, by the way, that caught balls for you last week.
Oh,
Tylan Wallace, Steven Sims. Who are these guys?
For all you jackasses that said that that still are on this bullshit about how Lamar is not a playoff performer, just let you know he led a touchdown drive that started at his own 12-yard line in 18-degree weather in Buffalo without Rashad Bateman, without Zay Flowers, and with double agent Mark Andrews. Like he was throwing to Tylan Wallace, Isaiah Likely, Anthony Miller. You know who was on the field that entire drive and then catch a fucking thing? Your boy Aguilar. So
yeah. Aguilar had one target for nothing.
I'm actually going to be I want to get cute. Do they have Xavier Worthy rushing yards or just rushing receiving?
Let's look.
Because that's where I'd get cute.
3.5. Okay. 3.5. With the exception of the Houston game and the
Denver, they didn't play.
They didn't do it.
The game.
He's like crushing this number. This is the play.
This is the play.
Yeah. This is just like the Puka play that Scott and I had 2 weeks ago, where Puka rush. Yeah. I don't want Gray. I want the Worthy. I want Worthy rushing. And all he has to do is get, like, if you look at how many times this happened this season. Holy crap, dude. So first of all, they've done it 10 out of 18 games this season. They did this. And that's including 2 games that didn't really count. Like
exactly.
We're doing this.
Do that. And
let me get rid of Noah Gray because I don't want Noah Gray on here. I don't want Noah Gray messing around with my money. We're taking James Cook. So I will go through everything that we have. Eagles.
I have one more play.
What
one more play.
What do you got?
Throw, because we have to do one sheep square play for the sheep and the squares. Just throw Kelsey anytime touchdown in there. You have to. He's gonna score.
What is it? Let's see what it is. Plus 130. Yeah, you can it's throw
that in there.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what we got. Okay, we got Eagles to score the first. Eagles longest field goal. We got Ertz. You want Ertz under receiving, right?
Yes, under.
I had the over in here, so I'm glad that I looked at this.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, buddy. Ertz under receiving. Then AJ Brown over rushing and receiving 58.5. It's just a better number than the 60, but the 60 is fine. Jaden Daniels over rushing. Eckler, and these are different ones of our plays, but like I will co-sign. Eckler receiving yards, Hurts touchdown, Godin 40 yards. Jaden Daniels longest rush 14.5. The Bills Chiefs game, we got game goes to overtime 14-1, which I love. What book is that? Is that on DK?
That's DK, yeah.
I like that a lot. KC money line. KC second half team total under 12.5. Josh Allen interception, Josh Allen touchdown, Josh Allen passing yards. So like the royal trifecta there. A Kareem Hunt touchdown, James Cook rushing yards. Kareem Hunt touchdown is an obscene price. You actually have to bet that. It's plus 190. That's a stupid price for a running back. As Ali likes to say, you can't if a starting running back he's arguably a starting running back. He plays enough snaps is more than plus 150 for a touchdown. You have to bet it. Xavier Worthy rushing yards over 3.5. That's a great play. And the Kelsey touchdown. So I'm going to drop all of this in the in all of the chats. I'm going to send it to you so that we have it. Don't pay attention to the first link. And then okay. All right. So that's enough. That's enough of hard-earned money that people have wasted on this. What else? What kind of what closing comments do you have as a Ravens fan that lost to Josh Allen?
I will say that I watch a Manning cast every week, and they have Belichick on every week. And the game against the Ravens were playing the Tampa Bay, and we committed some stupid ass penalty. And Bill Belichick said, "The only team that beats Baltimore is Baltimore." So
I said that game one, dude. I said you guys never look prepared, but
no, we're prepared. We're just stupid, if that makes sense. Or like
after scripted, I have a huge problem with how Baltimore plays.
Yes. So I don't think this team needs to go out and trade for some big number one receiver.
No.
I don't think although I don't know if we're gonna get that Derrick Henry season again next year because he's 32 years old. I don't think
they've been saying that for 7 years.
I don't think the Ravens need to make big changes. What the Ravens have to do is learn how to stop beating themselves. Don't be the most penalized team in the league anymore. Don't be the worst pass defense in the league through the first 11 weeks of the season. Don't employ two guys in your defensive backfield that after 10 weeks, you cut one and the other's been a healthy scratch for the last 6 weeks.
That's true.
Don't run Marcus Williams at corner repeatedly. Berg, do you know who Marcus Williams is?
Yeah. He, I've watched Marcus Williams get burned on many an occasion.
For those who don't know, do you remember the Minneapolis Miracle when Stephon Diggs caught the ball and all the dude had to do was just tackle him and he inbounds and the game is over, but he tried to jack him up and he flew right past him? Yep. That was Marcus Williams. And John Harbaugh and Eric DeCosta said, "Hey, let's go get that guy." We need to bring in players. Even Lamar said it, the dumb shit, the drops. What's fun? Don't let Jameis Winston bitch slap you for 392 yards.
I mean, Kyle Hamilton's the one D-back who got better as the season went on.
Kyle Hamilton is well. So all I'm saying is and the funny thing is, speaking of Kyle Hamilton, in that Cleveland Browns game, he dropped the interception that would have ended the game.
It would have ended the game.
If he catches that ball, that game is in Baltimore and not Buffalo. So what the Ravens need to do, because I don't give a fuck what you think about Lamar Jackson. He's that dude. The Ravens have to stop beating themselves. You know what it is, Berg? They need discipline. That's what they're prepared. They're not disciplined.
Yeah, that's fair. And that might be a Harbaugh thing. I think that might be a Harbaugh thing.
And honestly, listen, as I love to come on here and troll you with Mike Lombardi quotes. Mike Lombardi says all the time about coach when with undisciplined teams, team competitors, whatever. It's you're either coaching it or you're allowing it to happen. Yep. So stop going after these guys that just do these things. It's
meanwhile, if the Eagles win, we just want Vic Fangio to take over for Sirianni. It's just it's excruciating.
T-Rock is right. Harbaugh contributes to the stupidity.
Harbaugh does contribute to the stupidity.
I think he plays he wants his team to play on the edge and play a little aggressive, but it's you got to rein it in sometimes. And what I'm looking forward to for the next show that we do, if all these plays hit, is keep in mind I know it will exist. There will be Travis Kelce rushing props, and I want all of them. Keep that in mind. For the Super Bowl? Yes. Keep that in mind from that.
Yep. I'll be with you on it. It'll be great. Kelce.
Although actually all the Kelce props be juiced to high hell when the Swifties open their FanDuel account.
I'm fine with them. Let them in. Let the Swifties in. That's what I say. I'm
you let them in, and then
she's a Philly girl.
She is. No, not
I saw her sing the national anthem at the Phillies World Series Game 3, and they said Redding Zone, Taylor Swift, and Art Garfunkel sang it in one of the games. It was all right. And then what's his name? Hall & Oates, because they're from Philly too. That was a very, very long time ago. All right, cool. Shawn, where can people find you as we put these in?
You can find me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Shawn3W_. I'm a part of Nick's Film School, so if you want, you can. Nick's Film School is the premier Nick's content creation platform in the world. I am not shitting you. At Nick Film School, Nick Film SKOOL. I actually I'll do a shameless plug. If any of you in the New York City area, we're having a watch party at T Squared Social, which is on 42nd Street.
We've been there way too many times.
Yes, we have. It's on 42nd Street between 5th and Madison Avenue. Is steps from Grand Central Station. It's actually a joint venture by Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake. It has the largest television screen in New York. And we're having a watch party there Saturday, February 1st for the Knicks-Lakers game. I'll be there. It'll be my first day after dry January, which means I'll be hammered and high. So, come buy me a drink. Of all the money I'm going to win you.
I might come by. I might take the train in just to do it. All right, cool. I am Adam Rosenberg, and you can find me at Hey Rosenberg. Programming note: we may do some different things after football when it comes to Outlier things, but you could probably find my YouTube or Shawn's YouTube and all this other nonsense. I'll do it. UFL, baseball, all that stuff. But thanks everybody coming through. Message me if you have any issues or anything. But good luck with your bets. We will see you next week or in 2 weeks. I guess we'll see you. We'll figure it out. But go Birds on my end. So what do you want? What do you want on your end? Go Birds. Okay. Go Birds.